Hello everybody. This is a Seagull Ultimate 90 with an electric conversion, and I'm going to show you how to get this thing to CG properly. This model in the electric conversion is known to be really nose heavy, and at one point I put 30 ounces of lead on the tail just to get it to balance, and it still flew a little bit nose heavy. So I'm going to show you how to fix this. So I couldn't find much info online, but basically you cut out the balsa where the gas tank would go, and you make it, it comes like this. And I'm telling you, like this, the plane, it just won't balance. That motor is a Power 110 by E-Flight. Plenty of motor for this plane. I really like it. So here's another view of the inside, so you can see the whole thing. All right, let's get it to focus here, and I'll bring it back up. You guys can get an idea of what is going on here. Truth be told, I bought this plane used. The guy flew it once or twice, and he didn't like the way it flew, and that's because it was extremely nose heavy. So when it came to me, this was the battery tray, and it sat all the way in here like this. And the batteries that this plane with the Power 110 likes are these 5,000 milliamp 4S, and you got two of them, so it runs on 8S. And these things slide with Velcro and everything. I'm just going to show you. The furthest back you can get these things is right here, okay? And the plane will not balance without a bunch of lead in the tail. So here's the fix. So in order to make this, you get a piece of this light ply from the Home Depot. So you can go down to the hobby store and buy some of this light ply, and it's really expensive, right? You go down to Home Depot and you can get a 4 foot by about 2 feet piece of plywood, and it's the same thing, and it's like $18. I'll show you the link to it. And you make one of these trays. Now it's important, you know, that this thing here, there's a slot that it fits in down inside there so the battery tray doesn't move. It's got a hole here that they put a screw in to hold it in place. So you can see the difference is quite a bit, much longer. And what this does is this allows the batteries, so we get this down inside and it locks in place. Got to make sure it gets into that hole, okay? And then I've got a screw here, and I'll show you how to make this. So you can screw it by hand, or if it gets stuck, you can use a screwdriver. But this is just an M5, and this just goes right in there. Okay, now when I put the batteries in, this is where they can sit. All the way to there. Now, the batteries like to balance, I would say, about right here. That's where it really likes it. So, you know, between here and here is where it likes to go. And then the plane balance is fine, no lead in the tail, and it flies great. Or lows. The original battery tray was, 3.5 or like 87 millimeters by, here we go, about 9 inches or 230 millimeters. And so I just cut a new one out. And this thing is 15.5 inches or 395 millimeters. And the width is identical. All right, I glued just a little copper washer here. And then in order to get this wood So basically the Velcro wouldn't stick just on the wood. So you take a propane torch and you just kind of torch the wood, and that gives it a nice seal. It's a woodworking trick. A lot of people use it. And then I hit it with some of this clear spray, and this kind of seals it. And then the Velcro sticks just fine. Velcro sticks just perfectly on there. I drilled these holes with a hole saw. So this hole saw is used for making holes in doors, so you can put in the knob and the latch assembly. So I just used that to drill these holes. It just happened to be the same size as the old one. And then just Dremel tool I just used to make these slots in here so you can run the Velcro straps to hold your battery in place. At the Home Depot, you get these 5mm blind nuts. All right, that sits on the back side of the wood. You put some CA in it and it stays in place, plus it has those hooks. And then this 5mm screw, they come in like 3-pack for like 60 cents. And it's important to get the one with the beveled edge. Now this particular piece is off of a motorcycle. These are used on a lot of different sport bikes these days. It could be other things. They fit into a hole. So if you don't have access to the back of a hole and you need to screw something in, this goes in the hole, and then then your regular bolt will screw in, and then it'll crush this, right? That's the idea behind these things. So it's some kind of a holding screw for a motorcycle. I happen to ride bikes, so I had a few of these on hand. But anyway, so you'll see there's like a threaded portion in there. So to make this for the aircraft, all I did was take this. So I just took this thing, held it lightly in these lineman pliers here, and then I just screwed this in. And you just get it to screw in all the way. And you might have to adjust your pliers. Here, let's see. Just ever so lightly. You can see it start to like get in there. And there you go. See and then you can just use this, and it's really grippy. And even if it gets a little bit of like grease on it, it's still very tacky. And then if the nut gets stuck inside of the blind, if the screw gets stuck inside of the blind nut, you can still use a screwdriver for extra torque. The one I use on there, I just kind of trimmed off some of this edge with a pair of scissors. But that's it. And these things make great, handheld screws. I think they're much better than like the nylon ones or the knurled ones, because they take up less space and more usable. Anyway, so happy flying. I hope your Ultimate works out as good as mine.